Joining me now is my Forbes colleague, money and politics reporter, Kyle Mullins. Kyle, thanks for joining me once again.
Always great to be here, Brittany.
Some big news pertaining the former president. Donald Trump owes over $500 million after some legal setbacks. Before we dive into the money section, can you talk about exactly how he ended up here?
Absolutely. So we've got two cases to discuss here, right? The first one is a case that E. Jean Carroll, a writer, brought against Trump, accusing him of raping her in a dressing room in, I think, the 90s, and accusing him of suing him for sexual abuse and defamation. And a jury did find him. It got tied up in legal proceedings because he was president at the time. But after he was president, a jury did find him liable for those for sexual abuse and for defamation, and awarded her $5 million. He defamed her again, and a jury again found him responsible. And that time awarded her $83 million. So for those keeping track at home, that's $88 million that Donald Trump now owes E. Jean Carroll, the former writer, or the writer. That's the case number one. The second case is the much bigger one. It's a bigger sum we're talking about. That's the one we just got a ruling in, something like 2 weeks ago now. That was the fraud case that was brought against him by the New York Attorney General, basically alleging that he and his companies had wildly inflated their profits over the years by wildly inflating his net worth, and in doing so, getting more favorable interest rates on loans, and other sort of selling properties for more than they were worth, that kind of thing. Basically, he ended up, they wanted to take back some of that money, and disgorging, as it's called in the legal profession. So that ruling ended up being, the judge did find him and his companies responsible for that, and that was over $350 million that Donald Trump is personally responsible for, plus around $100 million in interest. So that's $450 million right there, plus $88 million in the E. Jean Carroll ruling. We're looking at over $500 million, like you said, about $540 million.
$540 million and counting, because it is increasing each day. So this is a big number for anyone, including a billionaire. But does he owe this all at once? Is this one lump sum? You just write a check, wire some money? What does that look like?
So he doesn't owe it all at once. Everything is, the long story short here is everything's tied up in the legal system right now, and he's going to appeal these rulings as far up as he can appeal them. I know for the fraud case, he does have to either put the money in an escrow account or confirm that he has a bond for the money, but even if he does appeal. And he has filed appeals in both of these cases. I'm not sure if that applies to E. Jean Carroll cases or not. I think it does, but regardless, he does have to put up the money in some form, but it doesn't mean it's leaving his control right away.
$540 million, even for a billionaire. This means that he has a cash problem, but paint us a picture here. How bad is that cash problem? Will this financially ruin the former president?
No. The short answer is this is not going to financially ruin the former president. Donald Trump has a lot of assets on hand. First of all, we're estimating he has around $400 million in cash right now, cash and other liquid assets. So he could write a check and theoretically could pay off a lot of these legal bills right away. Thing is, he can't pay off all of them. $400 million is less than $540 million, so he does have to come up with the cash somewhere. And I think it's also worth noting he runs a real estate business, and it's useful to have a pretty decent cash cushion when you're running a real estate business in case something goes wrong. So, this is not going to financially ruin the former president, but he does need to come up with the money somehow.